Okay, so in this tutorial, we're going to make a simple tic-tac-toe game using Cogent Core, which is a little bit more complicated than the to-do list we made previously.
All right, so we're going to start off with a frame, which again is a generic container. This is used to hold any number of different widget items within it, and its main job is to lay out those items in any number of different ways, including a grid. You can use a wrap. There's different styles of layout. Here we specify the number of columns, and then the number of rows is computed automatically from that.
Yeah, and so you can see, like, I could get rid of this property setting this as a grid, and then it would turn into just a row of elements. And then you can see here that we're going through and we're adding 9 squares to this grid. Each one of them is a button that represents a single grid of the tic-tac-toe game, and you can see here that we're using a styler to set the styling properties we want of these grid elements.
Okay, next we're going to add some data structures to our app. So we've got the squares as a slice of strings, and that's going to contain either an X or an O or blank at the start.
Yep, and so you can see the critical thing that we're adding here is we're adding this on-click event handler to this game. And so when you click on a square, first of all, if the square has already been set, then you don't do anything. And then otherwise, you set the square to the next value, either X or O, and then you alternate it so that the next one is the opposite of the one you just did. And then you update the button accordingly, and you can see again that we're using an updater here to set the text of the button and neatly encapsulate that logic on the button. And then also down here you can see that we're adding a reset button, which just resets the state of the game to the original state.
All right, let's see if it works.
So you can see you can click on the buttons and it adds elements to the tic-tac-toe grid alternating between X and O, and if you click on the same thing again, it does nothing. And you can also, of course, press this reset button and it resets the game state to the original state.
Nice. Okay, so now we're going to add one final bit of logic. So it's really just three builds here to get to the full app. In this case, we're going to add a status, which is a text widget. And keeping with the theme of encapsulation, we're going to attach to that an updater that computes whether or not someone has won the game based on these winning locations. So it just goes through those, sort of exhaustively compares the current state of the board with those possible winning states. And if somebody has all those things set, then that says who wins. Otherwise, it just tells you who the next player is. And then otherwise, the rest of the app is basically the same, except right down here, we add this one simple function call to update that text widget, and that handles all of the winning logic computation.
Okay, are you ready to play?
Let's go for it.
Okay, I'll go in the middle.
I'm going to go in the upper right.
Okay, I'll go here.
I'm going to go on the bottom right.
Okay, I'll go here.
Darn. Let's see. How about upper left?
Okay, I'll go here. And look, I won.
Oh, darn.
So you can see it updates the state of the text to represent who has won. And you can see if we played it differently and O won, then you would see it would report that O has won.
Nice. Well, it's a relatively simple app, but it only has half the number of lines as the React framework demo of the same functionality. It gives a good demonstration of how all the different elements of events, updaters work together to implement simple kind of app logic. Obviously, as you get more complex apps, you can combine all these features and build things out and accomplish a lot more complex functionality.
Okay, that's it for this video.